an idea what we should read into that.
So, I mean, I did slow the pace down a bit. I've never been past the first round in the UFC. That was an experience for me, and it was against a veteran. You know, he was pushing the pace there a bit, but I had to slow it down. I'm 205 pounds. If you keep that crazy pace that I had in the first round, it's almost inevitable. I mean, I work really hard so that I can push the pace the entire time, but when that adrenaline's going and you're actually there, you know, you gotta pace yourself a bit.
Yeah. Talk us through what you saw at the finish. I mean, you dropped him and you immediately turned around and walked away. What was it that you thought, you know, hey, I've got the walk-off finish here? Was it his body language, his eyes? What was it that you saw that you said, I don't even need to follow up?
So the connection was home run connection, and he fell over his own leg. He fell backwards. He had no control over his body, and then he just went completely limp. And when someone goes completely limp, that's a knockout. So.
Any regrets in not going and making sure the job was done?
Nah, no regrets, man. I'm happy with my performance.
And last thing for me, Dom, you know, we talked beforehand. Said you beat a guy like that. There's not a lot of names ahead of him. What comes next for you? What are you eyeballing now?
I mean, I think a fight with Jan would be a great matchup for myself. It would be an exciting fight for the fans. We're both technical fighters. I feel like he would be the next logical step in my career. So yeah, I think Jan would be a great fight for me.
And right here, Dominick. Congrats on the win. Were you expecting to have that type of performance? Did you maybe think Vince would bring a little more resistance to what you were doing in there?
I felt he did everything he could. It just wasn't enough. I performed just as I thought I would. I knew I would be faster. I knew I'd be sharper. I knew I'd be cleaner. And that's exactly how it went down today.
How do you think people are going to look at you after a performance like this? I mean, we're all talking about how, you know, maybe you're a contender. Do you feel like generally everyone is going to look at you that way now?
Yeah, I mean, with that kind of performance, it's hard not to say that I'm an upcoming star in this division. I was fluid. I picked my shots. I was diverse with my attacks, and I was elusive. I mean, what more can you really ask for?
Did you get an official explanation why it was ruled a decision over a knockout?
I did not. I would like one, but I did not.
You gonna try to find that out? Do you think they'll let you know? Yeah.
I would like to try to find that out, of course, yes.
And is the fight with Jan interesting? I mean, you two are both right now on the longest winning streaks right now, 4 fights each, which, you know, that's the leading in for this division. So you think that's the reason the fight makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, my last fight I called out a guy that was 9-0. I was 9-0 at the time. So I guess it makes sense to call out a guy that's 4-0 on a 4-fight winning streak. You know, I'm on a 4-fight winning streak, so let's do it.
When would your ideal date be for a fight like that? Are you looking for a little bit of time off now, or do you think you could be ready to go, you know, pretty soon here again?
I'm not too sure about that. It might have to be next year, but we'll see. We'll see how I feel after this.
Hey, Dom, right over here. We know that you trained at Team Quest for this fight. Do you feel like that paid dividends in the fight with OSP, just getting to work with some bigger bodies for this camp?
I mean, everybody I work with always helps me tremendously. If I could get a new look, and I'm going to add it to my bank of different looks I've seen, and I could work with that. So yeah, I think working with Team Quest, working with Team Elevation, working with Cobra Kai, it's all been very beneficial towards my growth.
And do you feel like this is the type of performance that has sort of put the division on notice that, hey, you're not just some guy beating, you know, up-and-comers, you just took out a guy in OSP who's fought a lot of really good competition?
Oh, absolutely. I'm no longer a guy that there's a lot of questions about. You know what you're going to get. I'm going to come out and fight you, and I'm not going to let you off the hook. And yeah, I'm the next guy, man.
How are you going to celebrate tonight?
I'm going to go over to Chateau and party with my family and friends and have a good night.
Over here, Dom. Congratulations on the win. My question is, how did you feel going in there and, like, after feeling him out and him being very dangerous and you guys grappling? How did you feel after that? Like, did he feel stronger than you, or did you feel like you could overpower him easily?
Yeah, he felt strong, but he didn't feel like, oh my God, this guy's so strong. It was just like, he's strong. Like, but I was much faster and my technique was better, and I knew it. After a few exchanges, I was like, I got this guy. Like, just got to be careful. You know, don't get lazy. Keep your hands up. You know, he was exploding with those hooks. He was trying to knock me out every punch he threw, and I was very aware of that. So it kept me on that line of, you better keep your shit together, otherwise it's not going to be your night.
And after this performance, you feel like this has showcased that you are a true contender in light heavyweight division?
I do. He was number 7. I took him out. I beat him everywhere, and I feel like I knocked him out in the end. So yeah, he's number 7. I was number 12. I think this puts me in the top 10, and when you're in the top 10, you could be a contender. You're a contender now. So yes.
Thank you so much. Congrats.
Thank you.
Hey, Dom. Dallas Hall, MMA Fight Radio. This, when I saw this come up on this card, the biggest card of the year, it almost seemed as if it was like a showcase for you. Showcase for you to come out and prove yourself against a guy who's fought against the likes of John Jones, people like that. Having said that, how do you feel that you showcased your skills in this fight to all of us and to the public?
I feel I showed my diversity, and my takedown defenses and my ability to grapple. I showed that I don't just have a left hand, which, by the way, was a better left hand than Connor tonight. So I want to just put that out there. Anyway, yeah, I'm diverse. I could analyze on the fly. I was picking my shots, being smooth and fluid, in and out. I look like a lightweight out there, and I'm fighting at light heavyweight. I think that's my gift.
Guys, I just wanted to ask a question. Obviously, the main event, it ended in, I don't know how much you saw after, but how important is just octagon security? I mean, there was not an ability to contain the fights over. A couple guys jumped in the octagon, attacked fighters. As a fighter, do you ever worry about that, and how important is that?
Yeah, that's now a concern of mine. I'm a professional. I'm a sportsman. I'm not here. It's not a brawl. Come on. This is the biggest stage in sport. We need to have security to prevent these things. I mean, there was a ton of security, but then again, you got guys just doing things completely out of character. I mean, you don't expect those kinds of things to happen. I mean, it's really hard to prepare for that, even if you have a ton of security around. That's like one of those, you blink and now all hell broke loose. So I'm not gonna blame it on security. I'm gonna blame it on the guys that were involved in it.
Do you think that was a negative for the sport? Obviously, you want to be seen as, and this is legitimate. I'm not saying not, but there's still people who see it as kind of this on-the-edge sport. I don't know, just what are your thoughts on that?
I don't really know how I feel about it. I just know it's more of a blemish on the guys involved than the sport as a whole. Because in the sport as a whole, you had performances like mine tonight. Shining stars, a lot of great stuff happened tonight. Even though that happened, I mean, that's on the guys that did it, not on the organization itself.